Make sure that you're listening to your body, make sure that you're not forcing yourself into any pain or anything like that. It's a nice mellow flow, but I do add rhythmic movements to really loosen up through the joints and get the day started for this Monday morning. So we'll begin, and we'll begin in child's pose. So if child's pose isn't comfortable for you, then you can place a blanket or a cushion underneath the hips, and you can choose whether to have the knees apart or the big toes together, and just allow yourself to drape down onto the mat. The heart threads through the gates of the arms, and just begin to bring your awareness to the breath. Bring in your attention to the inhalations and the exhalations, to the rise and the fall of the chest. And just begin to analyze how you're feeling on a physical level. Scan in from the crown of the head all the way down to the soles of the feet. And just observe for any areas of aches, any areas of pains, any areas of tension or ease. And just observe them without any judgment. As you connect to the practice of santosha, contentment. Not wishing to be any different, just completely accepting exactly where you are, right here and right now. All observation, no judgment. Notice how you're feeling emotionally and spiritually. Whatever you decide that those two words mean for you. Maybe it's this time and this space that you wish to devote an intention to your practice. Maybe connecting to someone or to something that you love. Maybe it's just working with a mantra, and if you're working towards a mantra, then with every in-breath, you inhale the words I am. And with every out-breath, you exhale enough. I am enough. All intentions are welcome. Let's deepen the breath. Inhale through the belly. The rib cage, the chest expands. Inhale, inhale, inhale as much air as you can into the lungs, holding at the top. Exhale wide through the mouth, sigh it out, let it go. 2 more like this. Inhale through the belly. The rib cage, the chest lifts. Inhale, inhale, inhale as much as you can, filling the lungs full. Exhale wide through the mouth, sigh it out, release it, let it go. Last one, big in-breath. Big sigh, let it go. Begin to seal the lips and generate the slight constriction at the back of the throat as you connect to Ujjayi Pranayama. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose, filling the room with the beautiful sound of the ocean. On your next in-breath, begin to walk your hands all the way over to the right, shifting the hips over to the left. If you want a deeper stretch, then you can place your left hand on top of the right and sink yourself down in between that gate, in between the arms. Noticing how the side of the body is feeling. Especially, if you've just gotten up, straight out of bed, straight onto the mat, and ease your way into it. Stretching from the hip all the way to the fingertips. On your next in-breath, staying in your side bend, take your right hand all the way to the back of the mat And then begin to lift the hips away from the heels as you open through the heart space. Exhale, lower your hips down, swinging the hand down. 2 more like this. Inhale, you lift and open. Exhale, lowers yourself down. Last one. Inhale, you lift. And this time we're holding for 3, chest is proud. For 2. And 1. Exhale, lower the hips down towards the heels. This time take your left hand behind the back and the right hand comes across to the left knee. As you inhale, you sit up as tall as you can. And as you exhale, you're twisting, taking the gaze over that left shoulder, Parshva-drishti. With each inhalation, you grow. And with each exhalation, you're twisting. Last breath. Inhale back through to center, staying in your kneeling position. We're going to swing the hands forwards, brushing the fingertips across the mat, bending the elbows and cactusing out through the chest. 2 more. Inhale, brushing the fingertips. Exhale, open through the heart space, cactusing. Last one, big inhale. Exhale, bending and holding. And again, always remember to use the breath, especially within our back bends, to open through the spine for 2. And 1. Exhale, release your hands down. Walk yourself back into your child's pose. And this time we're going to walk the hands all the way over to the left. So again, if you want to go deeper, you can place that right hand on top of the left as you sink down between the space in between the arms. And just begin to analyze the differences from one side of the body in comparison to the opposite. Staying in your side bend, taking the left hand all the way towards the back of the mat and then swing those hips nice and high, reaching the right hand overhead. Exhale, release the hips down. 2 more. Inhale, you raise. Heart is lifted. Exhale, lowers down. Last breath. Inhale. Remember, we're holding this one. So lightly activate through the glutes. For 3. For 2. And 1. Exhale, release your hips. Come back into your kneeling position as you take your right hand behind the back this time and take the left hand across to the right knee. Inhale, you grow. And exhale as you twist. Analysing where the twist is coming from, whether it's stagnated in any part of the body. Inhale back through to center. And this time we're going to interlace the fingers behind the back. So avoid hyperextending through the elbows. If you notice that's what's happening, then take a micro bend. Inhale, open through the heart space. Exhale, forward fold. So you can choose to stay here, or you can choose to roll onto the crown of the head, lifting the hips away from the heels. Always remembering that it's never a competition. Finding the equal in-breath, the equal out-breath. 2 more. And 1. This time, release the hands down and make your way into your tabletop variation. So we want our shoulders to be stacked on top of the wrists and hips are stacked on top of the knees. Let's take some cat and cows. Inhale, lift the gaze, lift the collarbones, lift the gaze to the sky. Exhale as you push the floor away, the chin drops to the chest as you round yourself in. Inhale as you arch, 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 look up. Exhale as you round, round, round chin to chest. 3 to 5 more like this in your own breath, in your own movement. And you can take whatever it is that you need. So you can come into an upward dog, you can send it back into child's pose, you can take circles into the wrists. Just really start to tune into where it is that you need to be. rather than where maybe the mind or the ego is telling you to be. Never matters what it looks like, it just matters that each experience will teach you something new. And always remember that it's your practice, nobody else's. Last round. And arrive back through to tabletop. So we're going to start to work through the core and with some balance. Extending your right leg back and up. Flexing the toes, dropping the right hip down. Maybe extending the left fingertips out in front of you. So imagine that you're being pulled in two opposite directions. Fixing your drishti on something soft. And as you exhale, draw the knee and the nose in towards the center. You can keep that hand down if you need to. Inhale, you're reaching forwards. Exhale, you round, knee comes into the nose. Last one, inhale, you reach. Exhale, round it all the way in and hold it here. Lift that knee as high as you can for 3, for 2, and 1. Inhale, you're reaching. Now, options 1, you stay here. Options 2, you can bend the back knee. Maybe that's all that you've got. Maybe you reach back and grab the foot. If you're grabbing the foot, remember to press the hand into the foot and the foot into the hand, lightly activating through the glutes to protect the lower back. Nice and strong through that right hand. Broadening through the collarbones. It doesn't have to be lifted very high or at all. 4, 2. And 1. Listen carefully. Begin to place your left hand back down onto the mat. Extend your right leg back along the mat. Make sure that the toes are tucked under. Roll into the pinky toe side and then stacking your hips into your side plank variation. So if you're not feeling it just yet or at all, you can drop down the inside leg. And if your bottom hand is shaking like crazy, you want to protect the wrist. So drop down to the forearm instead, okay? So lots of variations to play with. Wherever you are, keep those hips lifted. For 2, and 1. Let's make our way back into our tabletop. Just a little bit of core just to help warm us up and get that prana started. Left side, lifting your left leg back and up. Flexing the toes, dropping the left hip, and then reaching your right hand forwards. And again, focus your gaze on something nice and soft. Imagine that you're being pulled in two opposite directions. Exhale, you round it all the way in, the knee comes in towards the nose. Inhale, reaching forwards. Exhale, you're rounding like moving through water. Last one, big inhale. Exhale, you'll round in and hold. This knee's going to get jealous if you don't give it a bigger kiss. 4, 3, 4, 2, and 1. On your next in-breath, you re-lengthen, nice and strong. And again, options to stay there, options to bend the back knee. Work with what you've got. Maybe you reach back and grab the foot. If you're grabbing the foot, press the foot in towards the hand and the hand in towards the foot. Nice and strong. 4, 3. Chest is proud. 4, 2. And 1. Releasing the hand down onto the mat. And then extend your left leg back. Roll to the pinky toe side and take your variation of Vashisthasana. So it doesn't matter what it looks like. As long as you feel it and as long as it's teaching you something. Keep those hips lifted, protect the wrist if you need to by dropping down to the forearm. 4, 2, nice and strong. And 1, exhale, releasing yourself back into your tabletop. This time we're going to tuck the toes under and begin to hover the knees a few inches off the ground. Now if you're feeling fiery, and you want to intensify a little bit, you can take the same variation but with the toes untucked. It's slightly more challenging, okay? So notice which one you want. Begin to hover the knees a few inches off the ground as you protract through the shoulders. So you're pushing the shoulders away from the mat. Lift and nice and energetic through the arms. For 3, engage the glutes. For 2, and 1. Lifting your hips nice and high. And then just arrive into your downward facing dog, bending one knee, bending another, wiggling the hips from side to side. So it is a nice little slow flow, but there is elements of challenge into it. So, you know, we want to get that Agni fire working. We want to get your prana and your tapas heated up quite quickly. And especially because it's first thing in the morning, I do like to always start my practice with sun salutations, just to salute the sun and, you know, be grateful for the life force. Very, very slowly begin to take between 10 and 15 tiptoe steps all the way up to the top of the mat. So you can bend the knees as much as you need to, but super, 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 super slow. Avoid the rush. You know, often we're quite fired up to just get moving quite quickly, and we want to smash everything out. We want to be the best, or, you know, we've got so many deadlines that we find it so difficult just to slow down, but just use and honor this time dedicated for that purpose. When you do arrive at the top of the mat, you can grab a hold of opposite elbows and take a bend into the knees if it feels nice. And maybe you're swinging yourself from side to side. So as I said, I do find it very, very much a beautiful gift to be able to have the tools to salute the sun first thing in the morning. So we're going to do a few rounds of sun salutations before we get into our standing postures. Releasing the hands down to the ground. One vertebrae at a time, begin to peel yourself all the way up to stand. So the crown of the head will arrive up last, and it's nice and heavy. Okay. So preparing for Tadasana. If you are new to yoga, then I do use quite a lot of Sanskrit, and Sanskrit. It is the traditional yogic language, ancient Indian language. So just make sure that you're listening to the cueing before or after, because it will be in English. Don't feel like you're trailing off or anything, okay? We're going to bring the big toes together and the heels slightly apart. Lift all 10 toes off the ground, spreading them, and then very mindfully placing them down one by one as you articulate through your inner arches and activate through root lock Pada Bandha. Lift your kneecaps up to turn on the quads, tilting the pelvis under and lifting up through your pelvic floor or your perineum. So it's your peeing muscles. You want to squeeze them in slightly for Mula Bandha. Lifting your navel up and back behind the ribcage as you hollow out the belly, activating through abdominal lock, Uddiyana Bandha. And all this means is engage the core. So if you do get back pain after yoga, it's usually because the core is not engaged. Crown of the head lengthens to the sky, lightly drawing the chin in towards the chest for Jalandhara Bandha, throat lock. Shoulders draw up and away from the ears, spreading the hands evenly alongside the body, activating through your Hasta Bandha, hand lock. All 5 bandhas are now activated. Endeavour to keep these engaged throughout the entirety of the next 60 minutes. The word yoga translates to the word to unite or to yoke. So let's all unite with the breath. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 5, 6, 7, 8. One more. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 5, 6, 7, 8. Find Ujjayi. Hatha Yoga, Hanusasanam. The teachings of yoga begins. As you inhale, take the arms up and overhead. Don't be shy. Obviously, we can't hear each other, so no need to be shy. Wake your neighbours up. Open the arms and sound iti. And all this means is, it means I'm here and I'm present and with the universe. So let's salute the sun. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. The gaze comes up towards the hands. Exhale, melt down, belly to thigh, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, fingertips to the floor or hands to the shins, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to a high plank. And for this first one, we'll drop the knees, the chest and the chin down to the earth. Inhale, rippling yourself forwards, keeping it low. Exhale, lifting your hips high to the sky and arrive into Ardha Mukha, downward facing dog. So you want your feet to be hips distance apart and your hands to be shoulder width. Spreading down through each knuckle of the fingertip. So if I come and pick one up, they'll be glued into the mat. With each inhalation, you're lengthening. And with each exhalation, you're decreasing the space between the belly and the thighs. Bend your knees, look forward, step, jump or hop to the top of the mat and lengthen halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, melt down. Root down through Padabandha, raising the hands all the way up to the sky, Hasta Drishti. Exhale, Samastiti. 2 more like this, 1 breath per movement. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, taking the gaze to the nose and the Sagra Drishti as you forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze to the third eye, Brahmya. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to your high plank, and you can lower knees, chest, chin, or full Chaturanga Dandasana if you need to, or if you wish. Inhale, the tops of the feet are down onto the mat, upward face your dog. Exhale, riding the breath back, downward facing dog. 5 deep and steady breaths. Observe how the breath will change throughout the practice. And always remembering that it is the job of the mind to wonder. All you have to do is encourage yourself not to interact with the thoughts. It becomes a meditation. Bend your knees, look forward. Step, jump or hop to the top of the mat and lengthen halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Rooting down through your Muladhara chakra, raise your hands to the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands at heart center, Samastiti. Last one. Inhale, Hasta Drishti. Exhale, melt down the Sagra. Inhale, halfway lift, Brahmya. Exhale, plant your hands, step, jump, float it back. If you're jumping back, land with your bent elbows, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, your hips are high, Ardha Mukha, downward facing dog. So we do practice sun salutations to warm up the body and to salute the life force, the sun. With each inhalation is an opportunity of growth, and with each exhalation, it's an opportunity to get rid of anything in the body that doesn't serve us. Bend your knees, look forward, step, jump or hop to the top of the mat and lengthen halfway. Exhale, melt down. Root down through the feet, raise the hands all the way up to the sky, relaxing the shoulders. Exhale. Samastiti. And just remain in Samastiti for a moment and just use this time and this space to reconnect to the intention that you set. Yoga Sitra Vitti Narodaha. The modifications of the mind stuff is yoga. The only aim is to bring the mind to a point of stillness. Yoga Sutra is 1.2. On your next in-breath, let's take a chair pose, Utkatasana, just to get those thighs warming up. Don't worry, we're not going to be holding here forever. I know what it's like when you hear chair pose in class and you just want to kill your teacher. Squeeze those thighs as tightly as you can. Just remember that you've got all the tools within to do whatever it is or achieve whatever it is that you always wanted to do. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Remember, it's just a sensation. It's not going to last forever. Can you go a little bit lower? Tilting forwards, tilting the hips forwards, wrapping the rib cages in. 4, 3. Energy is bursting through the fingertips. I bet you wish it was the purge right now and you could kill me first thing in the morning. Don't worry, we're nearly there. For 2. I'm feeling it too, you know. And 1. Exhale, hinge forwards as you forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands, step back with your right foot, drop the back knee, and then raise yourself up into a little low lunge. So if it does hurt your knees or anything, then you can roll up the mat, pad it up, but just make sure that that front knee isn't overshooting the ankle excessively. You want to wiggle that front leg forward, sink nice and deep into the hip so that we're really getting into the hip flexors. Relaxing the shoulders from the ears. I can't hear any of you breathing. Find space. 2 more breaths. With each inhalation, the front of the body energetically grows. With each out breath, the back of the body is energetically lengthening down to the mat. As you exhale, place both hands either side of the front foot. Sinking nice and deep into the hips. Bring your chest through the gates of the arms. Exhale as you forward fold over that straight leg. Make sure that you're coming onto the heel for your Ardha Hanumanasana. We'll take 2 more like this. Inhale as you bend. Bend. Bend, open through the heart space. Make sure you're tenting on the fingertips. Exhale as you bend. Fold, fold, fold rather. If you have got books, you can use them. Last one, big inhale. Sink nice and deep into the hips, drawing the heart forwards. Exhale as you forward fold, and this time we're going to hold. So, you know, first thing in the morning, your hamstrings are going to feel, you know, pretty much like crap. Mine are terrible. If you cycle, if you're a runner, then your hamstrings are going to feel it in particular. Just breathe with it. Use the in-breath to create space and the out-breath to melt yourself down, taking the gaze towards the big toe, Pada Drishti. Last breath. Inhale, re-bend into the front knee. Keeping that right hand glued into the mat, begin to extend the left hand to the sky. So you've got one long channel of energy from the bottom hand all the way up to the top hand. As you exhale, swing that left hand all the way to the back of the mat, brushing the fingertips across the mat as you reach them forwards. Inhale, you're extending the hand back, brushing the fingertips across the mat as you reach them forwards. Last one, big inhale, sweeping the hand, brushing the fingertips and reaching forwards. Exhale, place the hands down onto the earth. Begin to lift the back knee off the ground, taking your right foot parallel to the back of the mat, and then windmilling yourself up into your second warrior, Virabhadrasana B. So back foot is parallel, front heel is in line with the back inner arch, and you want to externally rotate the front leg. So press your knee towards the pinky toe side of the foot. Gaze is towards the middle finger. As we inhale, straighten the legs, bring the palms to touch. Exhale as you bend. Inhale, you straighten, palms touch. Follow the hand with the eyes. Exhale, bend. Last one. Inhale, you straighten, palms touch. Exhale, rebend. Inhale, reach forwards. Utthita Konasana, forearm to the thigh, and swing that right hand up and towards the front of the room. So guys, if you have got any variations that you're working with, it's your practice, not mine, I'm just guiding you. So take any variations that you wish. But just make sure if you're going for a bind or anything, then that back foot wants to be glued into the mat. Create your suction cup. Remember, Muladhara chakra, it's your root, it's your force, it's your connections and your stability. Begin to think about your exit, and then using the inhalations to draw yourself back up into second warrior. Straightening the front leg. This time we're bringing both feet to parallel. Keep the arms extended out to the sides. Taking your right hand and sweeping it all the way across to the left ankle. So if you're finding it difficult to reach, bring your feet closer together, but you're going to be working more through the thighs that way, okay? You can keep that right hand high to the sky, or you can wrap it behind and hold onto the right calf. Notice where the weight is distributed. If it's dumped all the way into the heels, can you shift it forwards? Taking the gaze up and over that left shoulder. Pajvadrishti. Breathing deeply. Last breath. Breath and bandhas. Exhale, place both hands into the center of the mat. And then this time we're going to send that left knee nice and deep. So bend deeply into your left knee as you extend the right toes to the sky, coming into your Skandasana. Now, it's not a competition, okay? So if you're practicing with anyone in the room, you know, one of you may be all the way up here, that is totally cool, okay? Don't worry if you're up here, as long as you feel the stretch, or if you're all the way down here. Honestly, practice and always come in. If you're finding it hard to balance, you can place your fingertips onto the mat. Eventually, that left heel will reach the ground, but if it doesn't, it just means that you've got tight Achilles tendons, that's all. And like anything else, practice, practice, practice. 2 more breaths. And 1. Listen carefully. Staying in your Skandasana. Release the hips down onto the ground. Keep the legs exactly where they are. So we're not moving the legs at all. We're just releasing the hips down. And then we're taking the left sole of the foot to the inner right thigh. Reach your right hand to your right foot. And then extend that left hand up and over as you take a side bend. If you can reach the foot, just analyze to see whether you're looking something like this. If this is what's happening and you're creating your sense withdrawal, your pratyahara, then re-extend that left hand to the sky. So it's much easier and it's much more beneficial for you to keep your hand in the air so that you're getting that space through the ribs to allow the chest and the heart to expand, really sink in deep into your side bend. Use the inhale to invite life force into the body, and use the exhale to get rid of anything that isn't serving you. Inhale, peeling yourself back up. Good job, everyone. Planting your hands down onto the top of the mat as you vinyasa your way through. Slow and controlled inhale. Exhale, lifting your hips high, downward facing dog. Let's take it to the opposite side. Stepping your right foot in between the hands. Drop your left knee, and again, you want to wiggle that right foot far forward. Sink nice and deep into the hips, okay? Find your stability as you raise your hands to the sky, relaxing the shoulders. And straight away, just begin to analyze how this side of the body is feeling in comparison to the opposite. Not forcing yourself into any pain with the practice of ahimsa, non-harming. Exhale, release both hands either side of the front foot. Inhale, open and expand through the hips, drawing the collarbones forwards. Exhale, folding down, coming onto the heel as you forward fold over into your Ardha Hanumanasana. Inhale as you bend, 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 open through the chest. Exhale, extend, extend, extend. Last one. Inhale, rebend. Broaden through heart space. Exhale as you extend and forward fold. Take any modifications that you need, any variations, but instead of thinking knee to nose, think belly to thigh. So as you inhale, you lengthen, and as you exhale, you're forward folding. Avoiding the rounding of the back. Ardha Hanuman, Hanumanasana. Inhale, rebend into the front knee. This time we're keeping the left hand glued into the mat. Raise your right hand to the sky for your nice easy twist. If your fingertips are grouped together, then spread them so that the hand is nice and active, Hasta Bandha. Exhale, sweep the hand all the way to the back of the room, brushing the fingertips across the mat as you reach them forwards. Inhale, you're swinging back, brushing the fingertips, and then reach them forwards. Last one. Inhale, really getting deep into the shoulder. Brushing the fingertips and reach them forwards. Exhale, place both hands down onto the ground. Lifting the back knee off the mat. Taking your back foot parallel as you cartwheel yourself up to your warrior two. Again, make sure you've got a nice strong stance. Taking that front knee over towards the pinky toe side of the foot. So you should really, really feel it in the thighs and in the groin. As you inhale, straighten the leg, bring the palms to touch. One breath per movement. Exhale as you bend. Inhale as you straighten, palms connect. Exhale as you rebend. Last breath. Inhale, straighten, palms touch. It becomes a meditation. Exhale, rebend. Inhale, reach forwards, forearm to the thigh, and swing that top hand up and towards the front of the room. Try and take the same variation that you took on the opposite side so that you're balancing out your energy channels, your masculine, your feminine sides of the body, Ida, Pingala, your Shiva and your Shakti. Last breath. Inhale, peeling yourself back up. Straighten through the front leg and bring your feet back to parallel. Again, same thing. If you are struggling, and you can draw the feet closer together. We're taking your left hand this time all the way across to the right ankle as you take your twist. Maybe you stay there. Maybe you reach that right hand all the way up and over, taking it onto the left thigh. If you notice that your chest is sinking down to the mat, can you take the gaze over the left shoulder? Over the right shoulder, rather. Practicing the art of truthfulness, Satya. Where is it that you need to be? Not where the ego is telling you to be. Exhale, place both hands down into the ground. Skandasana on the right side. Bending deeply into that right knee as you extend the left toes to the sky. One side of the body will always feel completely alien to the opposite side, okay? So don't take it personally. When the Buddha attained his enlightenment, you know, he wasn't standing on his head or anything. All he was doing was seated. And that tells you so much about the evolution of yoga and how much it's transformed over the years. Asana is just a byproduct, a journey through the self to the self, nothing else. Staying in your Skandasana, lower your hips all the way down to the earth, taking the sole of the right foot this time to the inner left thigh. You want your left hand to come to the left foot, swinging that right hand up and over, taking your side bend. Again, just notice whether you're compressing yourself into any spaces. If you are, then open and left. You want yourself space to breathe. Use the inhalation to expand and the exhalation to draw yourself a little deeper into that space. The more you practice, the more you begin to unravel these layers of yourselves that you didn't know existed before. Inhale, peeling yourself back up, taking your hands to the top of the mat as you place yourself back into your Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, the tops of the feet are down onto the mat, opening through the chest. Exhale, riding the breath back into downward facing dog. Let's take some ripples through the spine. So when we're taking our ripples, try and avoid robotic movements. You want it to be one continuous movement, like a dance, like a rhythm. As you inhale, ripple forwards into your high plank. Bend your knees and send the hips high, downward dog. 2 more. Inhale, rippling forwards. Bend your knees, sending the hips high, downward facing dog. Last one. Inhale, ripple, ripple, ripple. Exhale, bend and extend. Bend your knees, look forward, step, jump, hop through to seated as you extend the legs out in front. So just beginning to unwind now. I am conscious that we did start 5 minutes late, and apologies for that. For some reason, my schedule said it was at 7:45. So I'll try and make sure that we're not running too far over. And if you do need to leave, then obviously I do understand. So yes, but I've managed to wrap most of it up on time. So Paschimottanasana, first thing in the morning, you're going to have tight hamstrings. So if your hamstrings are feeling extremely tight, then you can bend your knees or you can hold on to the shins. Wherever you are, keep the toes flexed to the sky. As you inhale, take the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hinge yourself forwards as you forward fold. Inhale to re-lengthen. Exhale, take your elbows east to west as you fold yourself down. And as you can see, my hamstrings are awful in the morning. Literally, I used to cry when I used to practice my forward folds. There was a period of time when I used to practice Ashtanga at 5 a.m. and the whole seated section during those forward folds, I used to cry. I used to scream on my mat because my hamstrings were just so tired and just weak. 2 more breaths. Inhale, lifting the head and the chest. Taking the sole of the right foot down onto the ground, keeping the left toes flexed to the sky. The right hand comes behind the back as you reach that left hand up and over for Mariachasana. Inhale to lengthen and exhale as you twist. Twisting is really good for detoxification and digestion. So first thing in the morning, maybe if you've not eaten breakfast or anything like that, it's really good for your digestive organs. Keeping the left toes flexed to the sky. Inhale, head to center. Let's take a counter twist over to the left. And then staying in your counter twist, keeping your right hand glued to the left hand glued to the mat. Take it into the variation of your wild thing. Exhale, releasing your hips down so that right foot is still glued onto the mat. 2 more. Inhale, you lift. Exhale, release. Last one. Inhale, lifting the hips nice and high. And hold. 4, 3. Thighs are strong. 4, 2. And 1. Exhale, release yourself down as we switch sides. Extending the right leg, drawing the left sole of the foot down, right toes are flexed. Left hand comes behind the back as the right hand comes up, and really use that in-breath to create length. Reach as high as you can and then hook that right elbow across to the left knee. Inhale to lengthen and exhale as you twist. Inhale to grow and exhale, Parshvadrishti. Analysing the differences from this side of the body in comparison to the opposite. Inhale, head to center. Counter twisting all the way over to the right. And then lifting yourself up, staying in your counter twist. Keep your right hand glued down. Lift your hips nice and high for your wild thing. Exhale, release the hips down. Inhale, you lift. Exhale, lowers down. Last one, big inhale, lift, lift, lift. And hold. 4, 3, 4, 2, and 1. Exhale, release it down. Planting both feet down onto the ground this time. And one vertebrae at a time, begin to lower yourself all the way down onto the mat. Whew. So whilst you're preparing, I'm just going to demonstrate full wheel, just in case there's anybody that's new, or, you know, sometimes in class you may not be able to see the teacher, or for a whole bunch of reasons. So if you are going into full wheel, first of all, make sure you can always tickle your heels with your fingertips to protect the knees. You're bringing the hands in line with the ears. Take an inhale onto the crown of the head, and then walk your hands back in line with the shoulders. Once you're here, you begin to lift and extend, threading the hat through the gates of the abs. Obviously, it's only an option. 3 back bends, you can mix and match. You can take all 3 wheels, you can take all 3 bridges if you like. Wherever you're going, make sure you can tickle the heels. Inhale, lift lower back, mid back, maybe upper back, maybe interlacing the fingers, maybe coming onto the crown of the head and pushing the floor away. I'm going to stay in my bridges today. Pressing down through the soles of the feet to open through the heart space. Lifting up through pelvic floor, perineum, and scooping your navel up and back. Exhale, lowers yourself down. You can either windscreen wipe the legs, or you can take the soles of the feet together and the knees apart. Notice whichever one it is that's serving you. Everybody is different. And back bends are like Marmite. You either love them or hate them. Okay. 2 more. Inhale, lifting lower back, mid back, maybe upper back, maybe interlacing the fingers, maybe coming all the way up. Just be truthful to yourself. Are you resting, or are you really sending energy and prana through the whole of the body? As you build this heat, it's the practice of sausha, your fiery cleansing, your purification. Exhale, lowers yourself down, and again, windscreen wipe the legs or soles of the feet together, knees apart, Supta Back Konasana. Back bends really activate our sympathetic nervous system as they compress against the ribs, opening through the lungs. Last one. Find your last variation. Big inhale and lift yourself all the way up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. The more you practice, the more you begin to unpeel these layers of yourselves that you didn't know existed before. Practice and all is coming, but you have to practice with all earnestness, with true devotion, and without break. Lowers yourself down as you hug the knees into the chest. And that's Yoga Sutras 1.14. Let's take a nice little twist. Taking the legs all the way over to the right as you shift your gaze over the left shoulder. Parshvadrashti. You can take any twist that feels good for you. You know, just beginning to slow down the breath. Come back to the intention. Asking yourself what it was that brought you here and what it is that continues to bring you to the mat. Inhale through to center. Knees all the way over to the left this time as you take the gaze over the right shoulder. Inhale through to the center line and shoulder stand. So if you don't want to be in shoulder stand, then you can keep your legs inverted like this, or you can, if you've got a wall nearby, you can place them against the wall, Invicta Pecorani. Otherwise, if you're not sure what shoulder stand is, then please just watch. We're taking our feet overhead. Hands come onto your rib cage as you lift one leg and another. Please do not move your head and neck from side to side. 10 breaths wherever you're going. And just be mindful. First thing in the morning, my whole spine feels super compressed. So don't worry too much if it's, if your practice first thing in the morning is nothing in comparison to later on in the day. There's so many factors that will, enhance or enhance the quality of your practice on a physical level. That's time of the day, the temperature, whether you're feeling ill, anything like that. Never, ever, 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 ever take it personally. You can practice for 5, 10, even 50 years, but practice and always come in. Salamba Savangasana, shoulder standing, last 3 breaths. When you're ready, taking your feet overhead and planting your hands along the mat. Super, super, super slow. Begin to unravel yourself. 1 vertebrae at a time. So that your hands will come underneath the glutes. You want to end up sitting on the hands, pointing your toes, dropping the elbows back, coming down onto the forearms as you arch through the spine and reach the crown of the head back for your Matsyasana, counterpose after backbending. So the only thing that's off the mat is the back. So you really want to arch the back as much as you can. And then finally, whenever you're ready, begin to make yourself nice and cozy. Add any layers if you know that you're going to get cold. Make any final adjustments that you need to, any final movements. And then just allow yourself to let go. Lay it all the way down onto the mat. Allow the feet to flop to the top corners. Allowing the palms to face up as they receive. Take a huge inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out. Quiet mind. Quiet body. Shavasana. to deepen the breath. As you re-invite some life force back into the body, wiggling the fingers and toes, giving yourself a long overhead good morning stretch. As you hug the knees deeply into the chest, giving yourself a well-deserved hug. Gently rolling yourself over to the right side of the body. Just pausing for a moment of gratitude. Gratitude for dedicating the last 60 minutes to your mind, your body and your soul. Gratitude for your teachers and their teachers' teachers. Om Namah Shivaya. And gratitude that the practice is healing for our bodies and our minds. Slowly begin to press yourself up to a seated position at the top of the mat, keeping the eyes closed or the gaze lowered. Extending the arms out to the sides as you draw the palms up and overhead, bringing the hands down in towards heart center in Anjali Mudra. The practice of Bhakti Yoga, yoga of devotion, has drawn us all here together. So we'll end in union with a single mantra, Om. Inhale the breath. Cleanse inside, let it go. Take your prayer to the space between the eyebrows. Inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. Lokaha, samastaha, sukhi novu, bhavanti. Jai, bowing down. Namaste. Namaste, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in on behalf of myself and MoreYoga. We're so lucky to have such a strong community of yogis, and you know, this crazy world, it's just a little bit mental at the minute. So well done for getting up to practice. I know how tough it can be, especially, you know, when your bed is maybe just right next door or whatever. But you always feel so great, and always remember that healthy body and healthy mind is the key things. Yoga doesn't have to just be asana, you know, you can find your pranayama, you can find your mantras, you can find your breathing and whatnot. Asana is just one aspect of it, so you don't have to, if you don't have time for a full hour's practice, just 10 minutes breathing. And I know MoreYoga, we've got quite a lot of videos on YouTube on meditation and breathing techniques and stuff like that. So, you know, don't knock yourself if you can't fit in a whole hour or anything like that. Just getting up each day and just finding some time for yourself is the key to a healthy mind and a healthy body. So keep it up. We're all in this together. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Chrissy. Apologies for the late delay, but I hope you have the most beautiful day. If you've got any questions or anything, hit me up on Instagram. It's ChrissyC_yoga. I'm happy to take any questions. And yeah, hopefully I'll meet you or meet you in person very soon. Take care. Namaste. Have a beautiful day.